A glimpse of the orchard. The Hebrew word Kabbalah means receiving or that which has been received. On the one hand, Kabbalah refers to tradition, ancient wisdom received and treasured from the past. On the other hand, if one is true receptive, wisdom appears spontaneously, unprecedented, taking you by surprise. The Jewish mystical tradition combines both of these elements. Its vocabulary teems with what the Zohar, the canonical text of the Kabbalah, calls new ancient words. Many of its formulations derive from traditional sources, the Bible and rabbinic literature, but with a twist. For example, the world that is coming, a traditional phrase often understood as referring to a far off messianic era, turns into the world that is constantly coming, constantly flowing, a timeless dimension of reality available right here and now if one is receptive. The rabbinic concept of Shekinah, divine eminence, blossoms into the feminine half of God, balancing the patriarchal conception that dominates the Bible and the Talmud. Kabbalah retains the traditional discipline of Torah and mitzvot, commandments. But now the mitzvot have cosmic impact. The secret of fulfilling the mitzvot is the mending of all the worlds and drawing forth the emanation from above. According to Kabbalah, every human action here on earth affects a divine realm, either promoting or hindering the union of Shekinah and her partner, the Holy One, blessed be He. God is not static being, but dynamic, becoming without human participation. God remains incomplete, unrealized. It is up to us to actualize the divine potential in the world. God needs us. Kabbalah owes its success to this piquant blend of tradition and creativity, loyalty to the past, and bold innovation. The Kabbalists grew adept at walking the tightrope between blind fundamentalism and mystical anarchy, though a number of them lost their balance and fell into one extreme or the other. Remarkably, despite their startling ideas and sometimes shocking imagery, the Kabbalists aroused relatively little opposition compared to some of the famous Islamic Sufis and Catholic mystics such as Hallaj and Meister Eckhart. No doubt this was due in part to the esoteric method of transmuting Kabbalah. At first, the secret teachings were conveyed orally from master to disciple and restricted to small circles. Even when written down, the messages was often cryptic, sometimes concluding, "This is sufficient for one who is enlightened," or "the enlightened one will understand," or "I cannot expand on this, for thus have I been commanded." From the beginning of the movement in the 12th and 13th centuries, the Kabbalah was promoted by renowned learned rabbis such as Rabbi of Parsequiers and Nahmanides, strongly committed to traditional observance. The Kabbalists could not easily be attacked by radicals, but they were profoundly radical and they touched something deep in the human soul. The Kabbalists made the fantastic claim that their mystical teachings derived from the Garden of Eden. This suggests that Kabbalah conveys our original nature, the unbounded awareness of Adam and Eve. We have lost this nature, the most ancient tradition, as the inevitable consequence of tasting the fruit of knowledge, the price of maturity and culture. The Kabbalist yearns to recover that premortal tradition, to regain cosmic consciousness without renouncing the world. Visions of God. Kabbalah emerges as a distinct movement within Judaism in the medieval Europe, but the experience of direct contact with the divine is already evident in the earliest Jewish book, the Bible. When Moses encounters God at the burning bush, he is overwhelmed, afraid to look at God. He hides his face. Soon God reveals the divine name, I am that I am, intimating that eventually becomes a mystical refrain. God cannot be defined. Exodus 3:6 and 14. Later at Mount Sinai, Moses asks to see the divine presence, but God tells him, no human can see me and live. Yet the Torah concludes by saying that God knew Moses face to face. Exodus 33:20, Deuteronomy 34:10. The prophet Isaiah sees God enthroned in the temple of Jerusalem, accompanied by fiery angels who call out to one another, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is filled with its presence. Isaiah 6:3. The most graphic account of a vision of God is undoubtedly the opening chapter of the book of Ezekiel. Standing by a river in Babylon, the prophet sees a throne whirling through heaven, accompanied by four winged creatures darting to and fro. On the throne is a figure with the appearance of a human being, surrounded by radiance like a rainbow. Ezekiel experienced this vision near the beginning of the 6th century BCE. Even before his book was canonized as part of the Bible, his vision had become an archetype of Jewish mystical accent. Until the emergence of Qualyba, Jewish mystics used Ezekiel's account as their model. Maseh Merkavah, the account of the chariot, as it came to be called, was expounded in some circles, imitated in others. An entire literature developed recounting the visionary exploits of those who followed in Ezekiel's footsteps. Among them, some of the leading figures of rabbinic Judaism. The journey was arduous and dangerous, requiring intense ascetic preparation and precise knowledge of secret passwords in order to be admitted to the various heavenly palaces guarded by menacing angels. The final goal was to attain a vision of the divine figure on the throne. The danger of the mystical search is conveyed by a famous report in the Talmud of four rabbis who ventured into Pardes, the divine orchard or paradise. Four entered Pardes: Ben Azariah, Ben Zoma, Aher, and Rabbi Akiva. Ben Azariah glimpsed and died. Ben Zoma glimpsed and went mad. Aher cut the plants. Rabbi Akiva emerged in peace. Aher, the other one, is the nickname of Elijah ben Avuya, the most famous heretic in rabbinic literature. The exact nature of his heresy is unclear. The metaphor of cutting the plants may refer to his conversion to Gnostic dualism. In any case, only Rabbi Akiva, we are told, emerged unscathed. Certain Jewish mystics went so far as to formulate detailed descriptions of the Bible of the body of God. This text became known as Shir Ummah, the measurement of the divine stature. Such extreme anthropomorphism generated criticism. such as that of Moses, Maimonides, but it also influenced the bold mythical language of the Kabbalah.